talking to Amber and Scotty Gifford. We're talking about real estate and divorce and what you need to know. And if I know anything right now, real estate is hot.
It's a crazy market out there.
It is. It is crazy. There are multiple offers. Over-asking price. Wow. Yeah, just kind of crazy. And not that we're talking about that today, but hey, that might work in your benefit. And if you're in the midst of a divorce right now and you have to sell the house and there are multiple offers and things going for more. But if I understood correctly throughout the first two segments, though, you really need to be informed about that property, get not only the appraisal, but you need to have that fair market value, that the competitive market analysis, and not just hey, it's worth this. It's not just a cursory glance. You really want to get those numbers, because I think it goes back to Scotty, you talking about like kind of leaving some money on the table, right?
Exactly.
So what I'm wondering in that, it's a hot market. People are divorcing, even though the divorce rate is on the decline, because actually less people are getting married.
Yes.
See how that works. I'm thinking about somebody out there who may be hearing this, and they're really in a quandary. They don't know. Maybe a spouse has just asked for divorce. Maybe they're filing for divorce. They're hearing this about real estate, and they want to make the right decisions with real estate. I'm wondering, could we maybe just take a look at a hypothetical example? Say somebody hears you guys, they give you a call. Hey, I've just filed divorce papers. I've got a house somewhere in Houston. What do I do? How would you work with them?
So, like I say, the first thing we would want to do is ask them some preliminary questions, so we might just kind of get their situation, because every divorce situation is different.
Yes.
So
very unique.
Yeah. So, and if, we're talking about the real estate aspect of it, we are going to run that comparative market analysis for them first, and we're going to do some in-depth digging on what their property is actually worth. And then that's going to tell them, and we're going to ask them some personal questions about, do you know how much you owe? Do you know what your mortgage is? We'll help you gather those documents if you don't know how to get those. We're also going to recommend that we do a pre-inspection to help uncover those unknowns of the house, right? Because any of that deferred maintenance, is the roof in good condition? Is the water heater? The big four, right? Is the foundation, the roof,
right?
Plumbing, electrical,
all those big ticket items. Big ticket items. Yeah, it's interesting. Even just right there is probably, my gut tells me, probably more questions than many people even begin to consider.
Yeah, they don't think about it at all because they haven't had to. So it goes one of two ways. They're either thinking they're keeping it or they're going to refinance it. And so once we know the value, that we're basing it off the comparables that are around them that have sold, and it could be different in 30 days just because our market's so crazy. But once we know the value and the inspection that they do and what repairs, it changes the bottom line that they're dividing between them and their spouse.
Right.
So if they have a $10,000 repair, not one person takes over that repair. You both do. So the bottom number that they're dividing at the end, it affects it.
Yeah.
So they have to know that. And the same thing when they're doing a refinance, they need to know, I'm going to buy this spouse out. It's very common that they don't understand that they're buying them out and that their mortgage payment goes up.
Right.
They think, I'll just use my child support.
So first and foremost, every single one is unique. Obviously,
Yes.
Every single divorce is unique. Mm-hmm. And so you need a trusted advisor to go to like yourselves to be able to ask these important questions. And I love the words you use, Scotty, in-depth digging. Mm-hmm. You're going to do some in-depth digging. And so my mind goes to, because who we speak to is those considering divorce in the midst of it and those coming out of it. And I'm just going to the person who may be considering divorce right now. Maybe they've come to the kitchen table. Maybe they're like, we've tried this. We've been through counseling. It's really better for the entire family if we create lives apart, right? And they're trying to be amicable. And so what I'm hearing there, I'm actually thinking about this. No matter if you're thinking about divorcing or not, you need to know this information.
You do.
Right. So even if you're hearing this by some odd chance and you're not divorcing, go find out what you owe on your real estate property or properties. Who is your mortgage paid to? What is owed? What are all what does that all entail? And then if you're moving ahead in the process, that is something I haven't heard before, that pre-inspection.
The pre-inspection is really important because it tells about deferred maintenance as well as a clue report as well. We always recommend all of our clients get this free report that talks about insurance claims. And you want to touch on that?
Yeah, please. What is a clue report? I have no clue.
Yeah, so there's a statistic that, even most people that work in insurance would know about it, but otherwise most people, 86% of people are clueless about the clue report, right?
We could keep going on with that one, right?
And so it's the insurance portion of it. So the report will show of any past claims that have been made and any outstanding claims that
may affect the process, may affect that bottom line again.
So even if there was a claim made but not paid out, it would show up on the report too.
Okay.
So someone took and got money for the roof. They needed a new roof, and the spouse doesn't know that they took the money, but they never fixed the roof.
Yeah,
you can't be naive in thinking that ugly things don't happen.
And that's exactly where we're going. And unfortunately, and this is another thing I say, and I really, just wait for it, folks. And I'm just giving you a hug when I say this. But it's probably going to be worse than you thought. And I've just seen that time and time again. And this is an area, I'm quite a positive person, but we want to open our eyes to this situation. And it's better to know now what has been hidden to be able to make those informed decisions. It's going to hurt, but I want to remind you, it will be okay. And you'll be better in the long run, in fact, if you do have this information. And what I was thinking about with this pre-inspection, another one of our areas that we focus on are people who are in the midst of divorce, right? And maybe they're just hearing this show and they're considering, maybe it's a mom with the kids. No, my kids are going to stay here. They're going to go to this school, and this is how it's going to be. And I don't care if I can afford it or not. I'm not moving my kids. Well, when we get so stuck in that, and maybe we think maybe in that situation, maybe we think, well, I'm going to get this much in support. I'm going to have X amount in support, but we're not looking at that deferred maintenance as you're talking about. And so that just seems huge, does it not?
Yeah, it's scary. Or to even think about, say there's really nothing majorly wrong with the house, but you don't think about all the bills that come with the home that say your spouse has been paying, and you have to pay, 1%?
Yeah, usually 1% in maintenance per year.
Per year. A $300,000 house with 1%.
Right. And it's just so much easier to get the facts because you can make that informed decision. And when we don't, we get down the road. And now let's talk about those folks who are after divorce and they realize, oh, why is my credit dinged? I thought the divorce decree took my spouse off the mortgage. Tell us about that one. I'm kind of leading you there.
Yeah, it didn't. Just because your spouse was taken off the mortgage, or maybe the mortgage was never even in their name, doesn't mean that they're not on the deed and that they still have ownership of that property. Right. So there's a couple different ways to handle that, and some of that can get handled during a refinance if it's special warranty deed is usually given for that.
So it sounds like you need a mortgage person as a part of the team as well.
And title will help. Some attorneys do handle these things as well, and they'll let you know right away, like, this is what needs to be done here.
Right.
But you want to be knowledgeable to know, like, hey, am I on the note, or am I on the deed, or am I on both? Like, you need to know that.
I love that you're saying that, because some of the work that we do is to help create a credible client. And so, again, speaks to that team when we have professionals such as yourself, a lender who's involved that understands the ins and outs of mortgages and refinancing, can paint the real picture, not the false picture, right?
Correct. And it's not all lenders that know that you can take out 95%.
Right. So you got to do your homework.
And have your team.
Have your team. And that team to work together. We can't say it enough. Honestly, we speak to that team a lot. But there's so much to it, no matter the phase of divorce you're in. And folks, I hope that you're hearing out there that you need a team like Amber and Scotty with you. I would hope that you'd have a divorce coach with you, but at least people who are specialized in those areas. And so I'm sure somebody out there is wanting to know how to reach you guys. So how would they bring you their situation?
Well, we have devised a free divorce resource at mydivorcerealestate.com.
Okay.
Or our website.
Yeah. So the resource is at mydivorcerealestate.com.
Okay.
Or you can check us out at thegiffordgroup.net, and that'll take you back there too. And on the Gifford group, we have, tons of information, FAQs and calculators, and
love that.
We can, there's,
the property address they can enter in, and we can do a CMA from there.
Awesome.
Which is what they need. There's blog posts that talk about divorce and what you need to know.
And that's the Gifford group with Gifford group.net, correct?
.net.
Yeah, we want to make sure that. And then what was the resource again?
My Divorce Real Estate, and it offers a free informational divorce resource for them.
Okay, and is that a .com or My Divorce Real Estate?
Yes, .com.
Okay, we want to say it a couple times because that's so important. One of the things we love to do on the show is provide information and resources and tools that people can have when they're listening to the show. And so, folks, I hope that you are gaining so much in this information. You're hearing what you need to know when it comes to real estate. And these folks, Amber and Scotty Gifford, they are here to help you, to provide you that information and resources as well. And so very much important information. When we come back, we are going to find out our final thoughts, wrap up anything that we may have missed. As you can hear, there's just so much to talk about. So we'll definitely have to have you guys come back and talk about real estate more. But you guys don't miss it. Come on back for segment 4. Friends, I'm so glad that you're listening to the Divorce Coaching Hour. And there's something I want you to know. I really want you to hear this. I, as a divorce coach and the host of this show, don't advocate for divorce in general. Our goal is to glorify God first and foremost by helping you save your marriage. The fact of the matter is that there are times when a marriage can't be saved. I know, I've been there. And when it can't be saved, we want to walk alongside you through it. We want to help you pick up the fragments, put the pieces together, and help you stand strong and walk through divorce courageously. And I want to share something with you that may help. I'm on another show here on KKHT. I'm honored to be the wingman on Courageous Christianity with Richard Mendelow, where each week Richard and I talk about the intersection of our faith and the secular world, and together with interesting guests, we shed light on this critical intersection, on spiritual combat, and on the rules of engagement for Courageous Christianity. It's my belief that Courageous Christianity with Richard Mendelow can be another resource that you can turn to as you walk through this path of significant change in your life. So please join us. You can catch the show on this station, 100.7 FM KKHT, at 12 p.m. noon Central Time, Saturdays, and online at kkht.com as well. Hey, grab your lunch and join us for both shows, back-to-back, 12 p.m. noon for Courageous Christianity and 1 p.m. for the Divorce Coaching Hour. You can also find all shows under podcasts